My fellow traders, I hope you guys had a great weekend. I hope you started the day good, started this week good, started this month off on the right foot. And we need to get these 2 months done and over with, put 2020 to rest, and get started on 2021. That's what I'm looking forward to. Man, I just can't wait. In this video, the last one I did, I kind of unboxed my methodology, the way I think, the way I like to trade. In this one, I'm going to kind of unbox my earning strategies. There's two key strategies that I use. For swing trading, there's the pre-earnings. But for day trading, I trade the earnings announcement, and there's an after earnings announcement trade, which is what I suggest anybody that's looking to trade earnings to start there. But we'll unbox all of that here in a minute. But just real quick, if you never try, you will never know. And I think about that all the time. I think about if I didn't try with that $1,500 check, if I had taken that check and just splurged it for Christmas, I would never have known the successes that I've been able to achieve and the things that I've been able to do for my family and others through trading. And it's not just me blessing my family. I've been able to bless others through what I've done and have given them, I give my mentoring time. I don't sell it, unless you beg me to sell you extra. But I just don't sell that time. I give it to you. It's my gift, to you to help you achieve the goals that you have set for yourself. But if you never try, you're never going to know what awaits you on the other side. So no matter what, guys, give it a try. It's not going to hurt you. All right, so let's look at today here. Now, this morning, I started out way too conservative. I should have been aggressive the first 30 minutes. That was the mindset going into the day, knowing that after 10 o'clock, things were going to slow down. I wasn't going to get the good moves that I wanted. So let's be aggressive early. I did just the opposite and was fortunate that we did some of these earnings trades, that it just so happened that I had to stay here and was able to do some of those that helped bring my day around. The day started with this SQ, and this was a 5-minute opening range breakout. Here's the 5-minute opening range high right here. So the idea on this strategy, the aggressive strategy, is to buy it on the break, regardless of what's up here. You buy it on the break, and then you start taking profit when you get to these significant levels that can give you issues. And I didn't do that. I waited until we got through all of that. More conservative, ended up with a base hit, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with base hits. But when you have a plan coming into the day and you don't execute that plan, it's a problem. And I didn't execute the aggressive plan that I had in play. I executed the conservative plan. But that, it worked out okay. But you could see what happened. I really messed up today because I didn't keep SQ on watch. I normally keep these trades on watch because there's opportunities, all through the day. There's these opportunities. So look at, here is the, I can't get it to go right. But here is the opening range low right here. And look at what happened, how it set up down here. Now we had red to green. This could have been a trade, but this is after lunch. This is the time to be conservative Wait for confirmation because you don't want to trade in channels. So could have waited for confirmation on this. Would have been a beautiful, beautiful trade. Forget all of this. I'm not trading in traffic. I just don't do that. There are people that gamble on this. That's fine. That's not me. But there was another big trade here on the back end that I could have taken. But just missed it. I wasn't engaged in SQ anymore. So BA. I need to leave BA the hell alone is what I need to do. Because I've proven this to myself over and over and over again that there's big money in this and they move it whenever the hell they want to move it, however they want to move it, for no freaking reason. This does not follow technicals. It just doesn't. So if there's any stock that I would buy through all of this, it would be BA because they could give a shit about any of that. They don't care. But, you know, in my mind, I thought I was doing the right thing. A really conservative entry again and ended up getting stopped out. The entry on this should have been back here, but I waited. It did not work this time. So here I keep this chart on, you know, because I'm pissed at BA. I wait until we get through all of this. Now, mind you, this is a stock where I should have just gone long and the hell with all of this, because this is what this stock does. But I waited. I got in here anticipating the break. All right, we're after 10:30, 11 o'clock. It's time for conservative entries, not anticipatory ones. I anticipate, get burned, and then I flip it short. Now I'm getting aggressive. All right, but now that I'm aggressive, the damn stock trades conservative. So I get short here, ended up getting some profit here, but then it stops me out. And I was just had a bad taste in my mouth with BA. This is the reason why things just did not work out for me today. BA was just not kind. So I didn't get to leave. The plan was for me to leave at the close because I had errands to run. And I had to wait on my wife, so she had a meeting. And I sat here and I was like, why not trade some earnings? So I was joking and I said, I brought this up. I was like, I'm just going to throw a dart at this. And whatever it hits, that's what we're going to trade earnings on. We're going to look to trade earnings on. And so SWKS, that was the hit. And I didn't have time to do the email like I normally do because I had no intentions of trading earnings today. So I didn't have that plan. But those of you that were still in chat, I sent you the articles you needed to read, the numbers you were going to need to come up with a direction. Do you think this is going to gap up based on what you see, or do you think it's going to gap down? And that's part of the whole process. A lot of people think this strategy is me guessing, but it could be a guess, but it's an educated guess. I do my homework. I take my time. I read the analysts, the articles that they put out. I look at the numbers. I come up with a thesis as to whether this is going to gap up or down based on what I see. Now, am I right all the time? No. I'm wrong every now and then, but I'm right most of the time. I have a higher win rate with earnings trades than I do with anything else. And it's probably because everything has to line up almost perfect. Now there's one thing can be off, but everything else has to be in line. And so, and I don't take as many of these trades because they have to be almost perfect. So, and I take you through all of that in the class. How to do it, you step by step, how I do it. But I read the articles, I got all of that. So I decided that I felt we were going to gap up, based on the group the stock is in, what it has going for it, what it's done the last couple of earnings, where they're going. So all of that stuff plays a big part. In its guidance. The reason why I didn't trade these strategies for 6 months is because stocks started cutting guidance during the pandemic. They just started reporting guidance now because they're forward thinking. The market is forward thinking. Where we're trading now is where the market expects it to be 6 months from now. If that makes any sense. It's all forward thinking. So a stock can blow out earnings but gap down because guidance is weak. They don't expect it to be good over the next 6 months. And so we're starting to get guidance back and we're able to make informed decisions. So here I'm looking at where's my potential target. Look right here. Bam, bam, bam. Support, bam. Here we tried to break through but we couldn't confirm. Here we broke through but we couldn't confirm. We couldn't confirm a break until back over here. And then it pulled back and held as support. Solid level. So for me, this is a magnet. This is where they're going to drive this stock because there should be a whole lot of volatility up here. There should be a lot of orders ready to fire off up here. And these stocks seek volatility. That's what they need to move. And I really thought we were going to get there. Now here was the 20 and here was the 50. But I really felt this had enough to push through there. And so, we get in right before the close. That's the idea. You get in right before the close. If you try to get in after the close, the spread sometimes $2 or $3. You can't get in. It's got to be done before the close if you're going to trade the gap. And this thing reported ran right up to 147. Had me excited. I just knew we were going to get 149. It ran up 147 and came screaming back. So before I could catch it, I was able to get it up here around 145. And then you can see here, it just struggled after that. We just could not make that move. So I ended up having to kill it. Still for profit, but it's a pretty decent move. Not what I wanted. It wasn't perfect. But all in all, this is a base hit for earnings is what it boils down to. But it did exactly what we were looking for it to do. It sold off all day, which is one of the things that I look for. It never did. Now, we did start trading up. It started getting bought up into the close. But we never claimed VWAP or anything. It was still red on the day pretty much until right at the end. But everything kind of fell into place. And that's why I took the trade. And we talk about this in the classes because it takes some time. The good thing is you guys got to see this happen live in real time. So you could understand exactly what I was looking for. And the dynamics, the price action that we were looking at. I was able to point all that out to you. So all of that's really key when it comes to learning how to trade. All right, so this is the more advanced strategy. This is the one that you really have to be comfortable with and be disciplined to mess with. Now, the more I don't want to say easier, but the less involved strategy is the one that we trade after the earnings are announced. Okay, so PayPal, obviously this wasn't here when we started looking at it. But PayPal, I was looking for the gap down on it, but I didn't know. Financial stocks, you don't have a clue. You'll never see me trade these ahead of earnings unless it's by accident. So I like to wait for earnings to announce. I wait for it to make its move, rest, pull back a little bit, and then when it continues, it's almost like a trend continuation trade. but it's a little bit, more involved, more advanced than that. So I was looking at this and I'm like, yeah, we've got 180 here. We've got 175, 171. I'm like, yeah, this is going to be good. And what we did, we waited for the earnings to announce, just like this is what we do. And we waited for the resting period. We got that, and then the stock started selling again. Now, sometimes it bounces and it comes all the way back. Sometimes it just kind of pulls and then trades sideways. You don't know. You have to wait, and you have to trade it. Like I said, if you never try it, you'll never know. So I caught it on the move. It triggered the entry right according to plan. And so I don't even know what the hell this was. This was a quick flash, probably reconciling an order or something. But we sold off, hit the first target, 177. Second target around 175. The final target was at 171.40. We just didn't get it. And what happened here was I had a 50 shares left, right? But 50 shares short, but I covered with a 100 share order. So I covered that 50 and I ended up being long 50 shares, which was okay. The only reason I really kept it on was we were talking about the reversal strategy as well. I mean, you could trade the same strategies aftermarket. It's just going to be a little different because we are in the aftermarket. But it's going to kind of look the same. And I do have some traders that work all day and they trade the aftermarket. This is one of the things they do. They'll fade it, and then when it goes to bounce off support, they're going to flip it the other way. So this is one of the entry points. This is another entry point. So I just said, okay, I'm in 50 shares at this entry point. At the time, this is where the 9 was. And I thought, okay, 179, that should be a good lick. So we'll take half here and then see if we get half up at 180. But this thing looks so good. We got the pullback. This level held. We got the bounce. So I added to this over the 9. And I was looking for the move up to 180 and the 20. But I forgot that I had that limit order on with the 25 shares. And so this actually filled. And I had 175 shares left. And honestly, when we struggled up here, I should have gone ahead and taken the 75 other shares off and just been in half size. And then, I would have at least locked in some profit on more than just 25 shares. But it came back, stopped me out at break even. And, that was that. I kind of left it alone after that. And you could see, if I had only taken it up here, I'd have had $1,000 day. All I had to do was take the trade up, take it off up here, and that other 75 shares, and even stopping out here at break even, I would have had that $1,000 day. But I'm glad I wasn't watching my P&L, because I might have made mistakes, and I might not even got that close. But not a bad day. Not a bad day at all. So the earnings trades really brought me over the hump. And like I said today, I didn't plan on taking them today, but it just worked out that way that I had to stay. And you guys in chat got a surprise. And being able to see it happen and look at all the dynamics that happen aftermarket, how similar they are. The only thing about aftermarket, you can't put in stop losses, so you have to be disciplined and ready to stop yourself out when you need to. So that's going to wrap it up for me. I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. You know, tomorrow's election. I'm going to vote at 7 in the morning. Hopefully, I'm here when I'm supposed to be at 8:30. The polls are right around the corner from my house. I could hit it with a rock, but I don't know how long the lines are going to be. So hopefully I'll be back here by 8:30. If I'm not, you guys know I'm still in line waiting to vote. You know, I like to vote on election day, so that's kind of a thing for me and my family. So we're going to do it tomorrow. But you guys have a great night, a great evening, and I will catch you in the morning.